Hello, I'm Megan Belanowski, and this is my video interview for Ed Prep for Sam Houston State University. The first question is, did I struggle in school? Yes, I did. I was diagnosed with ADD in kindergarten. My mom saw that I had some of the symptoms. She was a special education teacher, has been for most of my life. She's 2 years from retiring now. So she recognized some of that I was having trouble following simple instructions, that my teacher was always sending notes home, that I wasn't doing my homework. I didn't understand that I needed to. I had all kinds of problems with concentration, with doing what I was supposed to be doing in kindergarten. And I also struggled with math up to 4th grade. I would get pulled out of my math classes and taken to a room where I could take more time on them, and that made me feel like I was bad at math for most of my life. And so how did I solve it is the next question. I've only recently begun to get over a fear of math being hard. Dr. Swarthout's classes here at SHSU helped me get into a mind frame where I was seeing math as if I were learning it for the first time again, and I feel like that's really helpful of a mindset for teachers, people preparing to be teachers, to have. I feel like it's important to reconnect with that mindset, that first time mindset as a future teacher. So the next question, how will I use my past struggles as a future teacher for helping students? So the SPED classes, the special education classes that I've taken with SHSU, focus on gen ed teachers learning about inclusion students, because we're 100% guaranteed to have them in our teaching careers. And I think that it's important for us to know what we need to do for all kinds of different students and different needs in learning, to accommodate and to give those students something to do in your class. If they're not in gen ed but they're in for inclusion, even for just a few hours a day, it's important for you to make them feel welcome, to make them feel like they're participating in your class. Do not just put them off to the side in the corner. Don't make them feel like something is wrong with them. I remember always having to go to the meetings for ADD, I guess it was IEP and ARD meetings, and being pulled out for math made me feel like something was wrong with me. I don't want my students to feel like that. So the next question is about, did I have a teacher who impacted my education? Yes, I did. The first person who came to mind when I was asked this question was Mr. Shevlin at New Waverly High School. He was a man of many hats. He taught history and economics for the school. He was the UIL director for several events, including One Act Play, which I was in, so he was my director for that. He organized the guitar club and the chess club for our school. Those were things that we didn't have before. And I feel like in doing things like the One Act Play, guitar club, and chess club, he encouraged students to reach for things that they wanted to do with their futures. So he always had engaging lectures in his classes that he taught, and he painted his room with murals, and he let students join in on that activity, that project. It was a big project for us. It was really cool. It felt like it was outside of school, something extra to do that we wanted to do that was really fun. And he was always there for us. His room was open if we needed it, before school, after school, during lunch. So how will Mr. Shevlin, my experience with him, impact my teaching in the future? I really want to be that productive and positive role model for my students all the time while I'm there at school. I want to encourage my students to be lifelong learners and to reach for things through all of the things that they inspire to do, be it acting, be it guitar, music. With Mr. Shevlin, I mean, some of the kids that did One Act Play, they still do stuff with the Huntsville Community Theater. The kids who were in guitar club, a few of them are actually in bands to this day, and I've been out of high school for like 10 years. So the next question was, what are my strengths towards becoming an educator, an effective educator? I would say compassion and patience are high on the list of my strengths. I have a drive to help my community. I want to make those kids who are like me, who may think that there's something wrong with them, feel like there's not anything wrong with them and they can do it. I want to be that teacher. I want to be that inspiration. I want to inspire them to reach for new goals, for new heights. Also, I'm ready to roll with the punches if my school or my district needs me to move grades, needs me to move rooms. Watching my mom be a teacher my whole life, I've seen her have to pack up her classroom, so I want to have a plan for that. If they need me to move grades, I want to be ready for it. I want to be ready to work with my colleagues and get curriculum ready at the drop of a hat if they need me to, with no notice. I want to be able to do that for my school. So weaknesses. Weaknesses are just skills you haven't practiced enough yet. And one thing that I definitely am ready to practice is I prefer written communication is kind of a weakness for me. I need to learn to get better at face-to-face and even phone communication to build those meaningful relationships with parents when it's needed, whether it's something that I need to talk to them about improving with their children, or whether it's just to tell them that their kids are doing a great job. I want to be better at not just email communication. I want to be able to meet with them face-to-face. I want to be able to set those meetings without feeling anxious. I want to be able to handle those meetings without feeling anxious. Face-to-face, that's how it needs to be done for genuinity's sake. There we go. Okay, so the last question: how should my relationship as a teacher look with students outside of a classroom and on social media? So in my opinion, it shouldn't. There shouldn't be a relationship outside of school or school-related events. Now, if you need to meet with people to coordinate events, charity events, or fundraising events, that's fine. But you need to keep it professional. Your interactions outside of school should be about school. With your students and your parents, they should be about school. They should remain professional. But if it's not, if you just run into them at Walmart or something like that, you need to be polite and say hello. But I feel like when you become a teacher, you are committing yourself to your community as a steward, as a role model, and it's important to uphold those values that your community needs to see in you. They don't need to see you live in your personal life, so you need to keep your personal life personal and private. And show respect for what you trained to do as a teacher at SHSU. So that's all that I have for this video interview. Thank you very much for your time.